Hey, my name is Chuck DeWolf. I'm helping Brett Holmes out for his Crow mentoring project. I'm going to answer 13 questions to the best of my ability and try to enjoy and be as relaxed as I can. My name is Charles Anthony DeWolf. I'm named after my Polish and Welsh grandfathers. I'm a father and a husband and an artist and a Vermonter. And I'm 50 years old. The second question is, what was your rite of passage into manhood? It's interesting because culturally, anyone that's done research on the subject, sometimes it's like one thing. For me, there's been a continuum of initiatory events from when I played football in high school to when I got married, and a lot of things, good and bad, in between. Number 3 is, what is the foundation of your spirituality? So I was raised a Catholic white boy in the burbs, but I'm pretty much a pagan. The earth and its people, and a belief in those basic structures. And we can get into scientific fact and different philosophies, but that's pretty much the deal. What is more important, freedom or responsibility? That's question 4. Well, I'm 50, so when I was 20, I would say something different, but being 50 now, my reality is that if you're responsible, you're free, because nobody can fuck with you. When you aren't responsible, people can choose and often choose to mess with you in different ways. But when you're responsible, you're truly free, because no one can mess with you. Number 5 is, what makes someone a warrior in the best sense of the word? I think someone who can fight for what they believe in an unjudgmental way and can stay very present in that battle, they would have my respect, because it's a challenging thing to do. Number 6 is violence or nonviolence. Instinctually, I'm more of a young Malcolm X than I am a Dr. King, but I know that Dr. King's message of nonviolence and that realities in my day-to-day life, both with my family life and my community life, is incredibly important. It's not that I don't have the desire to, every once in a while, hit someone with a 2x4. I just choose not to do that. And which leads me into number 7. How do you deal with anger? I guess I deal with anger in a way that is pretty basic. The first thing is I feel it and express it as appropriately as I can, and try not to be afraid of it. If I find that I'm angry in a consistent way, weeks or days, or I'm stuck in some sort of frame, some mood, if you're in a mood, it means you're stuck. So if you're sort of stuck in that, it means I'm not taking care of myself enough. I'm not doing enough for me. I'm doing a lot for the people around me, whether it be work or my family, but I'm not taking care of my needs, and I'm getting angry and resentful, and it's pissing me off, and it's getting me stuck. So usually I'll separate, take a little break, whatever that might mean, and take some space and take care of my own needs a little bit. And usually that helps me get unstuck. But I'm not afraid to be angry or be grumpy or yell at all. I try not to do it inappropriately, but I have found that expressing it in a clear way helps me not get stuck and helps me be able to take care of the people that are close to me better. Number 8, what advice do you have about sex? Well, I could say the normal guy thing is have as much of it as you can. I could say that the best sex I ever had is now and in the future, and the best sex I've ever had in the past is usually when I cared really deeply about somebody and I was really present with them. But I have to be honest, I don't think that there's anything wrong with doing what you want to do. As long as you're not hurting anybody and you're in unison with other people, whatever your desires are, those are your desires, and you should do what you want, and have as much fun as you can. Sex can be really serious for a lot of us. I know it sounds a little silly sometimes, but it can be, and I think having as much fun as you can is a good thing. What's my relationship with my father, and how did it affect me? My father, Dan DeWolf, is still alive, still with my mom. I think he's 84. Just talked to him the other day. I feel fortunate for that. I feel fortunate to have a relationship with him through his life into his 80s. So the things that weren't working for us as a young man, as I was a young man and him being my dad, I had a chance, and he had a chance to work it out. And we're in a good place now. I think when I was younger, I wanted to be anybody but my dad, for whatever reason that was. I'm his eldest son, he's the eldest son, his father was the eldest son. There's some sort of heat and angst to that kind of relationship. And I'm not my father, but I really respect the parts of myself that are like him. As a 50-year-old, James Hillman, who's a pretty cool writer and sort of in the men's movement and stuff, he said that a father's failures father our failures. And as a 50-year-old with a family, in a community, dealing with the daily grind, that's meant a lot. Like my old man, I don't think my way of directing who my father is he's my old man. His life has sort of mentored mine, even though we're very different people. His failures have mentored my failures. And the fact that he's still trying to be himself in the world, and that we can enjoy each other without a lot of bullshit is a big gift. If you are a parent, what do you want your kids to remember about you? I think pretty much everything. I mean, I want them to remember the good times and the harder times and the times where I was really relaxed and happy and having lots of fun, and I do that a lot with them. To the points where I'm stressed out and yelling at people and burning the spaghetti. It's all part of the same thing. And so I hope they remember me as someone who loved them and who was their dad. And funny thing is, in all my good things and bad things, I have a real solid belief that they will do that. My kids, as interesting of a band of troubadours as my family is, there's a lot of love there, and I know they know that, and that's pretty cool. Who are your role models and why? You know, I'm not really sure about that. A lot of times when I think about role models, it's like somebody big, like a president or a musician or somebody historically that has done something very empowering and empowered the people or something to that effect. And I think my role models now are mostly my friendships. Those that I've had for a very long time and those who are new. those men and those individuals it's not as much about inspiration, but it's about sort of strength and comfort, that they're sort of the building blocks of a foundation of my community here. And that consistently and that structure, that solid structure of having a few guys in my life is really helpful. And if I'm out of sorts in a particular space over a particular amount of time, which sometimes can last days, sometimes can last longer than that, I got to track somebody down and go sit in a log and have a conversation, or go swimming, or go have a beer with them. And it's always good to laugh and to be with those people. And I guess those would be, what's the word? They would be my role models in a way. What do you want your legacy to be? I just want to let all the viewers know that it's a 90-degree day and I'm in a brick studio. And I'm doing a personal live sauna for you guys on this tape. My legacy, it's Brett, who's actually a new friend of mine, sort of put that word in my ear as I was turning 50, and I've thought a lot about that. I think I'm sort of tending a garden now with my family and my land, and what I'm going to do with my artwork, and how I support my wife to do what she does, and my kids to do what they need to do, and get time to do what I need to do, all in this place, which is connected to our land and our home. I think there's some tending to our garden that's going to mount what the legacy will be in a specific way. But I really feel, after traveling the world for many years and doing so much before I was 30, before I was 35, that home and family are my center point of my life. And my children, really, I feel, are my legacy. But like I said, there's more things to come. Any words of wisdom to next generation? That's the last question. And I guess, I heard someone once say to somebody else that life is hard for everyone, everywhere, all the time. So don't feel sorry for yourself, because we're all in it together. And my words of wisdom, and this is very important, it might be the most important thing I say here, is to have as much fun as you possibly can without hurting yourself or anybody else. Life is short. Do what you want to do. Show us what you got. So that's it. Those are my 13 questions. It's a Brendan privilege. Later.
Nice work.
Sorry. I kind of bumbled through, but that's all right.